All right, Beth, thank you very much and welcome to College Station. What a start for the Aggies on senior night. As Larry Pryor recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff, Andre Wilson starting his return gets popped inside the 10-yard line. Pryor scoops and scores and takes it in. What a start for Jimbo Fisher's team here on senior night.
Well, crowd's a little bit into it right now, Clay, after that. Special environment right now.
All right, so for those just joining us, here is the hit and the scoop and score by Larry Pryor. On the opening kickoff, UAB coming in here 9-1, the Cinderella story of college football, and Texas A&M said they weren't going to take the Blazers lightly. They're proving it early.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not a great start, obviously, for UAB, but a play like that in a weird way can settle you in as an offense, as a football team. Not going to start worse. Let's go play our style of football.
So now with a 7-0 deficit, Tyler Johnston brings the UAB offense out onto the field, and they're incomplete on the first attempt. Xavier Ubosi, the intended receiver. And there is Tyler Johnston, the redshirt freshman from Spanish Fort, Alabama, making his third straight start for the injured senior A.J. Erdley. Alabama Mr. Football in 2015. On second down, he's going to take a deep shot up the sideline. Ubosi was open. Had a few steps on the defender, Charles Oliver, but the pass missed him. So now it's third down and long.
And that's the matchup that they really want to go after. Oliver on the outside for A&M has had some struggles. Ubosi, a big-bodied receiver. I'm sure Johnston a little bit energetic right now in this environment. Just overshot him by a couple steps.
Pressure coming. Johnston gets rid of it, and he's complete to Wilson. So Wilson making up a little bit for the opening kickoff fumble. Is hit by Pryor and Oliver, but he's down at the 50-yard line. First down, UAB.
Well, he settles in quick. I mean, that is a beautiful throw in between the corner and the safety. Enough over the top to get the ball in there. Great throw by Johnston.
And now they're going to run it with Spencer Brown, talented running back, closing in on 1,000 yards rushing this year. Let's take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players.
Well, for UAB on offense, it really does have to be Andre Wilson, who will be a guy that certainly belongs athletically on the field. And Xavier Ubosi, we've already seen the deep shot. Use your size. And for Texas A&M on defense, Oliver, you're going to get tested. And Alaka's got to do a great job of tackling Spencer Brown.
Second and 9. Pass is caught by Wilson. Another good grab by the most gifted receiver in that receiving corps. That's a gain of 13. UAB will move the chains again.
Really well done by Johnston. Looking left, not liking number 1, coming back to Andre Wilson and number 2. And then the low ball placement is really what allows Wilson to secure that catch.
UAB leaning on the pass here early. Now on the draw, Johnston straight ahead. Bring up second down and 7. Strength versus strength. The UAB offense on the ground and the Texas A&M run defense. It's the number 2 rush defense in the country, and we have seen UAB move the football so far through the air.
And they said they wanted to be aggressive. When we talked to them yesterday, they said we want to be aggressive early on at this secondary, and the UAB run game is going to be something that they'll lean on all night long.
Play fake. And it's batted down at the line. Tyrell Dodson, the quarterback of that Aggies defense. Good to see him back running around for the Aggies. He was nicked up last week. And so now it's third down and 8.
You see Dodson scrape over the top like he's going to defend the run, follows the guard, and happens to be in the passing lane. I can't get to the quarterback. Let me get my hands on that ball. Great play by Dodson. And now Elko the Texas A&M D coordinator can dial up a pressure.
3rd down and 8. Going for UAB. Did he hang on? He did. Was he in bounds? He was inside the 5. Xavier UAB beating Charles Oliver. 1st down, goal to go.
Telling you, Clay, this is the matchup. UAB on Oliver. Oliver has struggled in man coverage. He leaves Johnston just enough room on the sideline to drop that ball over the shoulder. That's exactly where that ball needed to be. And Tyler Johnston, the freshman, coming into Kyle Field and not blinking right now.
UAB averaging 28 yards per catch, given 31 on that one. 9th play of the series. Brown tripped up in the backfield and dropped for a loss by the middle linebacker, Otera Alaka. And it's his 12th tackle for loss this year. He's one of your impact players, already making an impact.
Really good player. I love his patience. That play right there, it was no hesitation. He saw a run, shot downhill between the center and the guard in the A-gap, and able to take down Spencer Brown, who's a big back.
Ole Miss only had 67 rushing yards last week. They can really stop the run. We'll see what UAB does here on 2nd down and goal. They won't get a play because we have the penalty marker down.
False start. 71. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's the left guard, Rashard Cook. And penalties have been a problem for UAB, the most penalized team in Conference USA.
And the pre-snap ones will be important tonight, right? I mean, this is a environment UAB has not been in even remotely close this year. And so the communication, focusing on that snap count will be huge.
Back it up to the 9-yard line. 2nd down, goal to go. Johnston has a man open. Caught. Touchdown, UAB. And it's Andre Wilson with his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. And UAB looks very confident on their 1st drive.
You talk about a response after that start. Wilson, what he does, creates leverage with routes. Watch the seam release inside. Little laziness in my route, boring, and I break back out. He gets Donovan Wilson to kind of fall asleep. Such an underrated skill, route running. Andre Wilson can do it with anybody in the SEC conference.
And Nick Vogel adds the extra point. Texas A&M makes an announcement early with a great special teams play, but UAB ties it up.
Football brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar.
He's currently at Fort Bend, Georgia. Reveille, the 9th First Lady of Aggieland. Andre Wilson fumbled the opening kickoff to start this game. Texas A&M scooped it and scored it. But Wilson bounces back. 3 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown for UAB on their opening drive. And Nick Vogel with the touchback. Now A&M's offense led by Kellen Mond. The sophomore out of San Antonio will take to the field. IMG Academy averaging 280 yards per game total offense. 20 total touchdowns in the first 10 games. And you know, he has grown a lot this year in this offense under Jimbo Fisher.
Well, the big thing is he's still a sophomore. He certainly has bought into Jimbo's system, and I love his ability to be accurate in man-to-man.
He's got a great running back in Travion Williams, faking the handoff to Williams. Mond takes it ahead, and he'll get close to the 30-yard line. That's one thing that Jimbo Fisher really likes about Mond is his ability to run.
Yeah, he should. You know, the big thing is how it helps their offensive line with angles in the run game, and they don't have to account for a certain guy. And Mond really is the walking definition of dual threat. Good and getting really good at both throwing and passing, or throwing and running.
2nd and 5, first touch for Williams, trying to spin out of a tackle. It'll be 3rd and short coming up as we go to Chris Connor.
Couple points being scored in that game.
All right, so now the UAB defense, which leads the country in 3rd down D. Facing that situation for the first time tonight. Mod incomplete. Good coverage by Marshawn Diggs, the younger brother of Stephon Diggs. It was Jamon Osmond, the intended receiver. So 4th down, and Texas A&M will have to punt.
And that's a safety covering a really good receiver. Diggs just does a great job of patience. Wait, hop, hop. And then right when that ball's in the air, undercut, come in with that inside hand. That's big-time man defense by a safety. And UAB right now does not look like a football team that's scared.
There's Braden Mann, who's averaging 51 yards per punt. He's on pace for the best average in college football history, and you can see why. Wilson hemmed in inside the 10 and dumped. Wow, Braden Mann is a weapon. Long field for UAB when we come back to a tie game.
It's been quite the ride for the Blazers. Let's go back to January of 2014 when UAB hired one heck of a football coach in Bill Clark. Less than a year later, the program shuts down and 66 players transfer to find a new football home. Clark then spearheads massive fundraising in the school and city of Birmingham rally to bring football back. 2015 and 16, there are no football games, but recruiting and player development builds the new foundation. Last season, the Blazers have remarkable rebirth, get to a bowl for just the 2nd time in school history, and that brings us to tonight, 9-1. And gentlemen, with a win against the Aggies, it would give UAB their first 10-win season ever.
It is the great story in college football that not too many people are talking about. As Xavier Ubosi moves the chains on that 1st down reception, a gain of 12. Bill Clark, what a job.
Yeah, it's when I think of UAB and watch them, you know that saying, if you tell people your dreams and they don't laugh, they're not big enough. That's UAB and Bill Clark and what they've accomplished.
Now here's Spencer Brown. Pick up a handful. UAB backed up to start this series after the 60-yard punt by Mann. But so far, UAB has moved the football well against this excellent Texas A&M defense led by Mike Elko, the defensive coordinator, who was hired by Jimbo Fisher away from Notre Dame.
It was really some 3rd down conversions, right? I mean, this is the number 3 ranked 3rd down defense in America, and they got 2 of them last drive.
Johnston, play action, pumps, thrown to the right side where he had trips, and it's incomplete. Looking for Colin Lisa, number 13. The senior was on that 2014 team and then transferred to Buffalo for a year, but came back after the program was reborn. He is one of 4 guys left on this roster who was on that 2014 roster that Clark was talking about.
And it's great to hear him talk about why he came back. He just felt like this was home. And don't be surprised if Tyler Johnston looks his way again here on 3rd down, because it's a very much, he's Tyler Johnston's comfort zone.
They need the 32-yard line. Johnston getting some pressure off the edge. He is hit, and he is brought down inside the 20. First sack of the ball game for Texas A&M. It's Landis Durham, who led the league in sacks last year. And it's 4th down.
They get Durham in a 5-man front, so it's singled up blocks all across the offensive line. He's just able to get an angle on Rashard Cook. Spencer Brown tried to save it, but Durham, very active pass rusher, get him on the inside. Nice job by Mike Elko to get off the field.
And now Kyle Greenwell to punt for the first time. It's a boomer. Rashad Paul backing off. Fields it at the 31. And he's going to be dumped at the 34. 51-yard punt for Greenwell. And now Jimbo's offense will get its 2nd opportunity. Tied at 7, under 8 to play in the quarter.
Listen, if you want to learn some football and like the detailed X's and O's, listen to Peyton Manning talk about quarterback play.
Former teammate of yours. A&M's got it at their own 34. Mon taking a shot, and he's finding Sternberger on 1st down. Let's go to Chris Cotter. Great running back. That's Important win for Wisconsin. Season hasn't gone quite the way they had expected. So A&M with their first down, going to the air again. Courtney Davis, the intended receiver. It's incomplete. We've got a flag. Let's see what the marker's about.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 1. Penalty's 15 yards and an automatic first down.
It's D.A. Williams, the cornerback, number 1. And that's the second penalty against the Blazers.
He's in a good position. It's about as ticky-tacky as you'll get about a PI. I mean, he's allowed to go and be in the play, and the ball is just as much his as is the offense's.
This is a UAB defense that has played very well this year. They rank in the top 5 in 7 defensive categories in the country. Coordinator David Reeves has done a really good job with this group. On first down, Travion Williams is hit at the line and dumped after a gain of a yard. They're number 1 in sacks. They had 7 sacks last week in the game against Southern Miss, which clinched Conference USA West. Number 1 in third down defense, which we talked about. I mean, they are really good, and not just because they haven't played a tough schedule. By all measures, they're good.
And you know, we asked Jimbo about this defense. He said, guys, this is one of the best defenses in the country. I don't care what their name is or what conference they're in, they can play.
Big compliment from Jimbo. Second down and fairly long. Davis got turned around and he got hit as he tried to reel it in, and it's incomplete. Third down. What a shot there by Dijon Turner and Broderick Thomas to lodge that ball free.
Thomas is the one that makes the play. It's a beautiful throw from Mond, and Thomas is able to just come in there. A little bit of a bobble by Davis, but just that presence downhill from Thomas impacts those receivers.
The secondary for UAB, very athletic, very talented. And they force a third down and 9. Pressure off the edge. Mon, nice job stepping up in the pocket, and he throws to Osmond. Nice catch to Jamon Osmond. His second game back from an injury, and this receiving core is so much better with him healthy.
I thought Mond was going to run it. There's green grass there, but he's so confident in his ability to throw on the run. And you talk about Osmond extending. That's his roommate from IMG, so a lot of trust. Great throw, beautiful extended catch by Osmond.
That injury has really put a damper on Osmond's season. Now getting back to health, making impactful plays. That's a gain of 17. First down, goal to go. Back to the ground game, and Williams finds the edge, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown, Texas A&M. Man, when he gets the corner, look out.
I love the way this kid runs the ball. Follows both pullers. A great block by McCullum. And you give Travion Williams just a little bit of space, he's too good. And that play, that really goes back to that third down conversion. The throw from Mond to Osborne against a team in UAB who's the #1 defense in third down in the country, leads to a touchdown.
For whatever reason, we don't hear a lot about Travion Williams. We really should. He has put up some big numbers. That's his 12th rushing touchdown, and A&M has a 7-point lead. Now, the run game for Texas A&M is so much better this year. 196 yards per game. That's 5th best in the SEC. They haven't finished above 6th place since 2012. And one of the big reasons is the play of Travion Williams.
Really special back. I mean, very versatile. They ask a lot of him. He's certainly a home run threat. Great wiggle and vision. So he's a complete back play. And talking to him, man, this kid loves to run with a little bit of edge and competitiveness.
Another touchback for Braden Mann. Well, Tuesday on ESPN, it'll be interesting to see the reveal of the Newest installment of the College Football Playoff Top 25 rankings. It comes your way at 7 Eastern. Reese and the guys breaking it down. Coaches' reactions. Live interview with Rob Mullins, the committee chair. And here, Dan, are your new top 6.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame certainly is making a case to get up there higher than the 3rd ranked. Oklahoma slides in now after the West Virginia loss. I'm a huge West Virginia fan, and Greer and Holgerson. But Oklahoma now gets their chance next week against West Virginia.
Johnston goes to the air again. And that pass complete out to the 28-yard line. Here at Prince on the catch.
Man, weird stuff happens in Stillwater, huh?
No doubt.
Oh,
an amazing,
crazy
comeback for the Cowboys. And I really thought the game with Notre Dame and Syracuse today was going to be closer. Not the case. Charles Oliver making a nice hit. There's another tackle for loss for the Aggies defense as we go down the card.
Gentlemen, I've been watching Tyler Johnson in this first quarter, and he is not rattled. Take into account that the biggest crowd UAB's played in front of, 28,000. There's 100,000 people here tonight, but this kid is a winner. He was Mr. Football in Alabama as a senior. His high school career record, 35-0.
Yeah, a lot on his plate. A.J. Erdley, the starting quarterback, and a senior out again this week with a shoulder injury. He would be available only in an emergency. Here is Johnston now looking left, coming back right, and he throws a strike, caught at the 41. And that is Kalen Carter, the senior who has been making a lot of plays the last few games, and Johnston delivered a strike despite pressure.
Well, the block by Spencer Brown, just enough on Durham to allow Johnston to start left, and again, working back across the field, but it doesn't happen without his back making a big-time block.
I think Johnston is the future at the quarterback position for UAB, getting great experience tonight. He's going to miss Colin Lisa running up the sideline here. You know, A.J. Erdley has not taken a seat on the bench during his injury time. He has been very active, helping Tyler Johnston along, almost like an extra coach on the field.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to be a coach when his playing career is done, and he's certainly taken, I guess, advantage of the unfortunate circumstance and some getting banged up a little bit, and really impacted Tyler Johnston. Very selfless him, and it's an example of leadership.
2nd and 10. Caught. Ubosi. Another first down into plus territory. Finally tackled at the 45-yard line. So Erdley got hurt against North Texas. Started the game at UTEP. Couldn't finish that game. He's been out of the lineup ever since. Johnston's done a nice job. They haven't lost. But no reason to start Erdley, even if he's close to being healthy this week, because they've got a big game against Middle Tennessee next week, which will decide home field advantage for the conference championship.
So if he's not full go, let him rest, get full go, and get ready for next week's big game in conference.
Brown on first down. They haven't been able to get Spencer Brown going just yet, as Jaden Keevy, number 92, makes that tackle. Freshman All-American last year. Brown having a great sophomore season. But this is the best defense Brown has seen and this UAB offense has seen in some time.
Texas A&M's got a lot of respect for Spencer Brown, and they said this is what we've got to do. We've got to make him tap out. He's such a physical runner. He makes you tap out. Texas A&M's focused on making him do so tonight.
2nd and 11. Easy pitch and catch, first down. Ubosi again using that sideline. He's out at the 27. They keep picking on that side of the field.
Well, it's really back to Charles Oliver. It's your traditional high-low. They send Wilson into the flat. Johnston does a nice job with his eyes, and Ubosi, great feet on the sideline. He's had himself a huge start to this game.
4 catches, 75 yards. They've gone his way 6 times. 1st and 10. Quarterback draw. Johnston get a couple. And Tyrell Dodson A junior out of Franklin, Tennessee, who we got a chance to talk to yesterday. He made the tackle. John Chavis, the old defensive coordinator here in Aggie land, was the guy that was able to land him here.
Yeah. I think the thing that I like most about Dodson's game, and we saw it right there, he can really dip under blockers to make plays. It's because he has great lower half strength.
Johnston underthrown and almost intercepted. There's a good play that time from Oliver. Dodson and Pryor also in the vicinity on defense.
They try to go back to that corner route from the slot with Wilson. Oliver doing a nice job of keeping his eyes on Johnston and making a break on the ball, but there's been a couple corner routes thrown. Don't be surprised if UAB hits him with a corner post at some time on a safety.
Blazers 3 for 4 on 3rd down. Johnston has time. Bad pass. Wanted UAB along the sideline again. But their communication was off and it's 4th down.
Well, it happens because UAB got pushed so far to the sideline by Oliver as a quarterback. I don't know. It's in between. Can I put this ball over the top? There's no room for me. Maybe I'll try the back shoulder. And so really credit Oliver for squeezing the space to UAB.
Nick Vogel comes on for a 43-yard attempt. It's within his range. He's got a long of 51. Out of the hold of Jacob Clark. No good. Hit the upright. And Bill Clark knows they missed an opportunity on the road. Plays like that really hurt.
Vogel's one of the carryovers, right? He's one of the kids who came back, was part of the program. Team goes away, comes back. Really good kicker. You know, those are 3 or 4 inches away from being good and getting points on the board. So he'll get his opportunity again tonight. I got a feeling he nor his team will blink.
Strong leg on Vogel. But UAB comes up empty. And now on Williams, big run. Across the 45, down at the 47. Broderick Thomas brings him down to the turf. Boy, he is fun to watch run. That's a gain of 20.
It's really a great block by McCoy, and then they pull Carson Green, their right tackle, around, and big hole for Travion to follow. And that's what's unique about this A&M run game. It's not just zone that we see a lot in college football. They'll pull people all over the place.
Play action. Mine. Wide open. Courtney Davis. He's out at the 16. Now the big plays coming in waves for Texas A&M. Gain of 37.
A great little play action concept. You're going to take one guy, clear out the secondary. Davis does a nice job of widening with his release, creating more space for that hole. Good delivery, protection by the offensive line. And this A&M offense feeling really confident right now.
True freshman Jayshon Corbin, the backup to Williams, who's checked in a running back. And he'll get it on 1st down. The UAB front is ready for him. That's going to be the last play of the 1st quarter as Fitz Mofor and Chris Woolbright make that stop. An exciting
that is the end
first
of the
15 minutes here in College Station. Texas A&M with a great play on special teams to get the scoring started. UAB answers back, but it's the Aggies with the lead by a touchdown and looking for more when you come back. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN from College Station, Texas, with Dan Orlovsky and Paul Carcaterra. I'm Clay Matford. UAB and Texas A&M, the first 15 minutes, you see the numbers. And UAB turned it over on the opening kickoff. A&M ran it in. That accounts for the 7 points off turnovers. UAB also with a missed field goal in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, they've played really good football. Those 2 miscues are kind of the story of the 1st quarter right now. Still very much in the game.
2nd and 11 for Kellen Mond and Texas A&M. Mond to the end zone, going for his tight end, and it's through his hands, incomplete. Albright, the linebacker, got back in coverage. But Jay Sternberger, one of the best tight ends in the country.
And this is what's going to happen all game. They will get Sternberger on linebackers a lot. And Jimbo Fisher, who understands matchups and formations, he's going to allow Sternberg to have a lot of opportunities tonight. I expect a big game out of him.
His 6 touchdowns receiving, leading all tight ends in the FBS in that category. Williams in the backfield. Mond flushed out of the pocket the opposite direction, looking down to the end zone, throws incomplete. And UAB forces 4th down.
And there's that 3rd down unit for UAB, who is a really good rush unit. They lead the country in sacks, and the pressure on Kellen Mond makes that play. And that's a huge stop for UAB coming off that missed field goal to force the Texas A&M field goal attempt themselves.
The true freshman Seth Small was supposed to redshirt this year, but Daniel LaCamera got hurt. And he's done a nice job. Hits from 34. And Texas A&M adds to the lead. It's 17-7 here in the 2nd quarter. This season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections, passionate fans like these fighting Texas Aggies by awarding the best student section of the year. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see if your team made this week's rankings and to see how your school can compete. Those Corps cadets are so sharp in those uniforms. Gonna bring it out. Starling Thomas with a true freshman mistake. And it's Military Appreciation Night here at Kyle Field. Don't forget Tuesday night, the next college football playoff top 25 reveal.
There'll be some movement.
It will be.
West Virginia, Clemson losing to Duke right now. We had Duke. That's a good, solid football team. Well coached.
They can be.
Man.
Yeah, up and down this year.
Yeah. Well,
the team that Texas A&M is playing tonight has been up for the last 8 games. They've won 8 in a row. UAB out of Conference USA's down 10. Delay a game.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Bill Clark said that he had tears of joy last week after his Blazers clinched the West Division of Conference USA. Win over Southern Miss in overtime. And they fed the ball to Spencer Brown in the overtime to seal the win. Their terrific running back. He's in the backfield to the right of Johnston. They're going to throw here. Caught by Lisa. They'll get a chunk back down at the 19. What a year. 9-1, 7-0 in Conference USA. They've clinched the West. Next week against Middle Tennessee, they'll play for home field advantage in the championship game. Ranked in the... And what a story, because this is a program that was off the map 2 years ago.
It's one of the great stories of all of college football. You didn't have a team 2 years ago.
Johnston on 2nd and 5. A battle in the secondary intended for Carter. It lands incomplete. And Oliver does his job that time. We keep picking on Oliver.
Well, they watched tape and they've seen some of the struggles. He does a nice job of getting his arm in there on Carter to make the play. But he's got to know, it's going to be interesting to see what does defensive coordinator Mike Elko do to maybe protect him a little bit, because UAB is not holding back from attacking him.
And Texas A&M's pass defense is down a couple of starters. Derek Tucker out with a shoulder. Miles Jones out here in the first half because of a targeting call in last week's game. A little thin in the secondary. The ball is tipped, but I think we got a timeout called before the play by UAB, and it was granted.
Prior to the snap, first charge timeout of the half, UAB.
3rd down and 5 when we come back. Brown's game-winning touchdown for the Blazers in overtime last week against Southern Miss, clinching the West. First Conference USA Division title for the program. What a story for Bill Clark and this program. Shut down for 2 years. Came back last year, made a bowl. Bowl eligible this year. Could be conference champs in Conference USA. Trying to pick up a 3rd down conversion, and they do it. Across the 25 and down to the 26, they'll move the chains.
And take into account this is only year 2 of the rebirth, and Clark stayed loyal to UAB, galvanized the community from Birmingham, which contributed more than $47 million to reinstate the program. How did you get the players? Well, a ton of JUCO talent, and their first recruiting class was around 50 kids. The non-negotiable, it's old school football. You better be tough as nails.
And this Aggies defense is tough as nails, too. That's a loss of 2. Dylan Mack with the hit. You know, here's the roster breakdown. It's a veteran team for Bill Clark. 20 starters back. They had to go with a lot of transfers like Cart talked about. And surprisingly, they found chemistry right away. You usually don't see that when you have to bring an influx of transfers.
I think the big thing is he preaches family. They live it, and it'll be important for them to capitalize in recruiting because those JUCO kids are going to leave quickly, right? So find some really good young players.
Johnston overshot Wilson. That's his go-to guy. Was a touchdown here tonight. 3rd down and 12. Bill Clark on what he appreciates about the journey he's been on.
You know, it is hard to put into words kind of where we are from where we came from, but you know, I guess just the appreciation for everybody that believed when there really wasn't a lot to believe in. You know, $50 million raised, and you know, this kind of became, last year was about the people that gave. This kind of now is about this team, and so you know, this team and this coaching staff has really done, you know, just a tremendous job and made history. So really proud of them and appreciative.
He has a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving season, and Birmingham has a lot to be thankful for in having a coach like Bill Clark. They pick up the 1st down with that strike from Johnston to Lisa for a gain of 25.
And that play really was made from all the throws early on to Ubosi. It forced the safety prior to play over the top wide, and Lisa finds the seam, and another great throw by Tyler Johnston.
It's the 2nd catch for Lisa. Churning for a few, Spencer Brown. Let's go back to that catch by Colin Lisa. Again, a member of the 2014 team who comes back to be a big part of this roster.
You see Pryor just come in late from the screen. It's because the ball's been thrown deep to Ubosi so much, he's got to respect it. That's what opened up the middle of the field for UAB.
Under 12 to go, 1st half. There's Kalen Carter making his contribution. He's short of the line to gain. Devion Renfro making the tackle. So 3rd down and manageable for UAB.
UAB is being really aggressive. I mean, I promise you, they watched A&M tape and saw some teams having success in the air, and so they want to be aggressive, throwing the football, thinking that's their advantage, and it's paying off tonight with their receivers making some plays.
They send Donnie Lee to the left side of the formation. He's the tight end. They will run it. There's a big hole up the middle. Spencer Brown 1st down as we go to the studio and Chris. All right, Chris, thank you very much. Sounds like Les Miles is going to be headed to Kansas. Not a done deal yet, but sounds like it's going to happen. Of course, Ben Miles is a backup fullback for Texas A&M. Les's son. Johnston can run a bit. Hangs onto the football. It was nearly jarred loose. And he's got enough for the 1st down. Tyler Johnston, the redshirt freshman quarterback, moving the chains.
You know, this UAB offensive line is playing really well tonight. I mean, he's holding the ball 3-4 seconds in the pocket. His instincts take over, and we're starting to see a little bit why. This Tyler Johnson was Player of the Year, Mr. Alabama. I mean, he's a efficient thrower of the football, athletic enough to make some plays, in UAB on the march again.
We're seeing the future now for UAB at quarterback, and Tyler Johnston. Inside handoff. And this offense gets it inside the 25 with Brown again. On pace to shatter every UAB rushing record. 14 rushing touchdowns this year, already a single-season school record. 24 for his career. He has done so much. Helped bring this program back the last couple of years.
All-American, and still only a sophomore. Very, very strong runner. He's going to get his plenty of carries tonight.
2nd and 7. Slant, Carter, and that's going to be close to another first down. Kalen Carter continues to make a lot of big plays for this offense. And another big 3rd down situation for the Blazers.
Well, it starts because on 2nd down, A&M blitzes. Kalen Carter replaces the blitzer. Johnston, for a young kid, sees it, ball out, completion. Now we're in 3rd and 1. We've got a big-time back. You can utilize a little bit of zone read. Johnston athletic enough to get on the edge. I bank on the run game coming into play.
Johnston has to scramble back for the football, and he is swarmed under by several maroon jerseys. High snap. And Kiki is going to be credited with the sack. And we got a man down for Texas A&M. The starting center, Lee DeFore, is out with a broken arm. Greg Buchanan has been filling in. He sent one over the head of Tyler Johnston. And Texas A&M is going to force a field goal attempt for Nick Vogel. He missed from 43 off the upright on the other side of the field. This will be a 44-yard attempt. He has struggled from these kind of distances this year. The coach's son, Jacob Clark, is the holder. Fuqua the snap, and it's blocked. Special teams is really hurting UAB tonight. Jaden Peavy, number 92, got a hand on it, we think. Yeah, right there.
No, 6'6" Peavy, and that botched snap, longer field goal, lower kick by Vogel. It all ties together for that big block from A&M.
A couple of missed field goal opportunities for the Blazers. Mond and the offense going back to work. It's Osmond. Good speed. It's going to be close to a first down. You know, we haven't done the Chick-fil-A impact players, the Texas A&M offense and UAB defense yet.
Well, for Texas A&M on offense, it's got to be their tackle, Dan Moore, young kid, handle the 3rd down pass rush, and then Sternberger, incredible tight end, attack these linebackers. And for UAB on defense, Jamel Garcia-Williams continue to have big plays on 3rd down, and we've already seen Marshawn Diggs be physical and great in coverage.
Sternberger, 1 catch so far tonight. He's been targeted twice. Just a terrific tight end as A&M picks up the first down with Williams. Sternberger, a transfer from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M after 1 season in Kansas. Country boy from Oklahoma. He really fits in here in College Station. They love him here on campus. Jimbo Fisher can't say enough about him. He's got NFL written all over.
No doubt. He's perfect for the NFL game. Very kind of Travis Kelce-like. Great feet. He's got a dancing background. Really special talent.
A dancing background. Now we get a timeout called by UAB.
Second charge time out of the half. UAB.
Second timeout spent here in the first half. We're going to have to talk more about Sternberger's dancing past when we come back at 17-7 Aggies. Two of the best quarterbacks in the country going head-to-head. Kellen Mond on the draw. It'll be second down and 9. I know that you've been looking forward to this matchup for a long time. The Chiefs and the Rams, and two special talents at the position you played for 12 years in the NFL.
I mean, for me, the thing that stands out most about both these kids, very natural throwers of the football, very just natural talent to be able to throw the ball in any kind of capacity. And they both come from spread, kind of air raid offenses. They've both taken the NFL by storm. It will be a blast to watch Monday night.
They're going to be playing that position for a long time in the league as Williams makes a catch out of the backfield. Johnston with the tackle. And let's go to the power rankings. You've got KC and LA right there.
Well, these are the most important power rankings out there right now.
Yours?
Let's make that clear. You know, the Saints really, with all their talent skill-wise, built inside out, but KC and LA, great weapons, coaches that understand how to find matchups and multiplicity, young quarterbacks, opportunistic defenses. They're both going to be in the conversation at season's end.
Third down and 2. And that is a first down catch for Rodgers.
Well, Dano, you played in the NFL for 12 years, and one of your teammates happened to be Jared Goff. Describe what he's like in the locker room.
You know, he's from the Bay Area, Northern California, right? So he's very kind of Bay Area. Nothing phases him. No up, no down. He's very talented, great kid, young, certainly. But he's beloved by his teammates, and really because of the way he works. He's totally committed to learning NFL style of football, great work ethic, reliable. And so he's done a remarkable job of taking that organization into the forefront.
A lot of time for Mond, going for Osmond. Trying to adjust, lands incomplete. Well covered. Starling Thomas, the rookie cornerback, knocked that away at the last moment.
One of the things I love the most about Starling Thomas is his competitiveness. Fight to the very end to not allow Osmond to make that catch. Just enough to get his hand in there. And that's a play that these A&M receivers have consistently made. Beautiful play by the freshman, Starling Thomas.
He's out of Birmingham. As Bill Clark has done a good job getting local talent to buy into the UAB program again. And how about that defense? Big loss, third down coming up as we go to Chris. Thank you very much. That's the first sack for UAB. They're 39th on the year. Number 1 in the country in that category. So now third down and 14 for Kellen Mond. He's being chased. And he's not going to get the first down yardage. Finally caught at the 45 by Anthony Rush, another guy that might have NFL potential, good speed. And so now fourth down.
What a play by Anthony Rush. I mean, he's 350 pounds. He's able to come off the block and chase down Kellen Mond. I mean, great play. And this UAB defensive line has continuously impacted the A&M offense.
Braden Mann with his second punt, trying to pin UAB deep. Drops it inside the 5, and it's dead at the 4.5. Austin Fry, the long snapper, got down there to cover it. And Braden Mann, likely going to be the Ray Guy Award winner, barring something unforeseen happening. He has been absolutely unbelievable. The Houston native with a powerful leg.
I never understood how punters were able to kick that ball end over end, get it to land, and then bounce. I mean, that ball went 7-8 yards in the air. 7-8 feet. And great punt by Mann.
The last 5 Ray Guy winners have been Australian, and it's a good bet that Mann is going to buck that trend. Brown to the 10-yard line.
Gentlemen, everyone knows number 12 for Texas A&M. That's Cullen Gillespie. Well, after that man punt, he just ran up to man and said, "You are such a weapon, dog."
You think he called him the man?
He probably does. And you know who else is a great Texas A&M Aggie? Is Cullen Gillespie.
Yeah.
He epitomizes the 12th man tradition here in Aggie land. As a linebacker last year, Jimbo made him a fullback. He has embraced that role. Brown again, plugging away, close to the first down yardage needed. Gets 4, so it'll be 3rd down and short for UAB. Texas A&M, with a win tonight, secures a winning season in Jimbo's first year. And a really good vibe going into that LSU game. There's Gillespie, a senior out of Katy, Texas. On senior night, there are 17 seniors being honored here tonight. Gillespie deserves a lot of honor.
Ex-linebacker turned fullback.
UAB has been great on 3rd down, 6 of 9. And they will pick it up here. Spencer Brown is now just shy of the 20. They'll move the chains.
Kind of does what you never want to do on 3rd and 1 is go sideline to sideline, but good enough vision, finishing the run. And another really big 3rd down conversion from UAB, getting out of their backed up and a new set of downs.
This will be the 41st play of the half for UAB. Johnston down the middle of the field, and it's intercepted. Bad decision by the freshman. Donovan Wilson with his 2nd pick of the year. And great field position now for the Aggies offense. They'll take over at the UAB
Early
49.
on the field is an interception by the defense. 1st down.
That was a freshman mistake.
Yeah, and right before the half, you get the 1st down. Can we go get some points? But this play is made by their Butkus Award finalist, Alaka, in the middle of the field. He's trying to find Colin Lisa. He's going to seam inside, and Alaka just cuts him off. Carries him. Stays on the top shoulder of Lisa. That's what restricts him from going to get that ball. Great coverage by Alaka.
Williams, a good run on 1st down.
And I want to go back to the pick because Tyler Johnston's thinking Lisa's going to seam inside. But Alaka plays on top of Lisa with great leverage on the top shoulder. That's what forces the ball to sail. Ends up in a pick.
6th interception shown by Johnston. 1st down for Williams as we go back to the studio and Chris Cotter.
Okay, guys, halftime's coming up. Jim Moore and Emmanuel Acho will join me. Acho, a part of Forbes 30 Under 30. If you hadn't seen that latest copy, go to newsstands and get it right now. We got thrillers in the Big 10, Big 12 highlights to show you. The Irish make a statement in Yankee Stadium, and Clemson's in action right now. Highlights of all that coming up at the half. We'll see you then.
All right, Chris, thank you. I'm going to have to pick up a copy of Forbes on the way through the airport and get Acho to sign it for me.
My guess is most of that was tied to all the different colored suits he wears. I mean, he's got all kinds of colors and exotic. He's really good. He does not talk with his hands.
Cameron Buckley, the intended man for Mond. 2nd down and 10. A chance here for Texas A&M to add to their 10-point lead before half. All 3 of their timeouts remaining in great field position here at the UAB 35.
And the big thing is, yeah, you want to get some points, but don't give the ball back to UAB.
UAB dropping back 2 safeties. Pressure coming. Complete to Buckley. Inside the 15, out at the 13-yard line. Cameron Buckley, good-looking sophomore receiver who they call Houdini around here.
Really called an arrow route. He comes inside, sits down, then breaks back out, and Culver, the corner, tries to undercut it. But again, I'll go back to this. Kellen Mond, the accuracy and ball placement is really good. That's what allowed Buckley to catch and run.
Mond now 122 yards passing. He's 7 for 13 through the air. Wants the air again. Incomplete. That was the tight end Sternberger, and he's going to get a penalty flag.
Pass interference. 23, defense. Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Marshawn Diggs, the strong safety, the pass interference.
It's really because Sternberger does an awesome job. He's going to get inside leverage, seam him outside. That makes Diggs get crossed up, and he has to tug. Remember they threw all those corners early on? Marshawn Diggs thought that was another corner, so he sells that corner, gets Diggs to cross over, and loses leverage, and he has no choice but to pull.
Cohen Gillespie, a number 12, checking in at fullback. Mond under center, and the center gets bowled over. Penalty flags all over the place. There's the 350-pounder Anthony Rush again, and McCollum is pleading his case.
Prior to the snap, offside, 47, defense, contact in the neutral zone. Penalty's half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Contact, I'd say.
Thankful I'm not playing center for A&M right now. We rush again, 350 pounds. To be honest with you, it's not a bad penalty, though. It's half the distance to the goal on first down. See if you can jump the snap and create a big play.
Eric McCoy dusting himself off. Mond away from McCoy, gets to Williams, runs into a tackler. Second effort gets in. Travion Williams with the touchdown run for Texas A&M just ahead of halftime.
Really, the turnover, the pick from Tyler Johnston is the big momentum swing. But credit A&M taking advantage of it. But I'm here to tell people about Travion Williams. Yeah, he's 5'9". I don't care how big he is. Watch how physical he runs here. Finishes with strength and competitiveness to finish a big touchdown for A&M. Really a good push by Rush, but Gillespie leads the way, and it's an example of backs finishing. Keep pushing and driving your legs. Run low with power. And Travion Williams, big score.
Second touchdown of the night for Travion Williams. He's got 13 on the year now. And Bill Clark, you can tell he's disgusted with some of the things that have gone on here tonight. A fumbled kickoff return on the opening play of the game that Texas A&M scooped and scored on. A couple of missed field goals. That interception that leads to points here just seconds ahead of halftime.
Yeah, I mean, it's 14 points off of turnovers, like you had mentioned. A missed field goal, and then the 3rd and 1 botched snap kind of leads to another missed field goal with the block. So playing good football, but those little things coming back to bite UAB.
.40 seconds to go before halftime, and Travion Williams with his second touchdown moments ago, and he downed it. He did down that on the 1-yard line. I think he thought he called for the fair catch. It was not granted, and he ended up taking a knee, and I think UAB's going to have it at the 1. Let's see this again.
Man, I thought I saw his arm go up for a fair catch signal.
That's Andre Wilson, and if this is indeed the situation where they have it at the 1, that's the second mistake for Wilson on kickoff return, because he had the fumble to start the game. I don't know that his arm went up all the way down.
I thought it happened sooner.
He took a knee instead of calling for the fair catch, which would have meant UAB football at the 25. And now a timeout. Blazers, they used their last timeout of the half. Where they continue to be their own worst enemy.
It will be a 30-second timeout.
No, he did not call for the fair catch. And I wonder if he thought he was in the end zone when he took that knee.
It looks like he throws his arm out to communicate to Kalen Carter, "I've got it." And maybe that confused him, like, my arm went out, I signaled the fair catch. Because it looked like he was telling Carter, "I've got it, I've got it." And it may have confused him. Because there was a little bit of like, okay, I'm going to take a knee here.
Andre Wilson from Converse, Texas, about 2 hours from here, just outside of San Antonio. He's got some friends and family here. And he has not played well on special teams here in the first half. UAB backed up to their own goal line. Johnston trying to get some breathing room just to avoid a safety here potentially before half. And now Texas A&M calling timeout. They think they can get the football back here before the end of half, Dan.
No doubt. And at least, worst case scenario, you force him to punt.
With the game clock operator, please put 30 seconds.
So let's catch you up. This was the opening kickoff to start the game. Ball knocked loose around the 10-yard line out of the hands of Andre Wilson. Larry Pryor scoops it up and scores. Wilson, on the opening series for UAB, redeems himself to a certain extent by catching a touchdown pass. Trevion Williams with a touchdown run, not once but twice here in the first half. We've also seen a couple of missed UAB field goals. Interception thrown by Johnston that led to points just moments ago for A&M.
The reason why it makes sense for A&M to call these timeouts, one, you're not taking them to halftime. You're not bringing them with you, too. Even if you don't get the ball off a turnover or something, you're going to force UAB to punt backed up.
They run again. Spencer Brown gets it to the 3. Texas A&M will call another timeout. They have one remaining.
It will be a 30-second timeout.
Trying to force a UAB punt. Well, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. We say thank you to All-State.
You know, it's interesting right now because if you're UAB on offense, 3rd and 8, backed up on your own 3-yard line, do you throw the ball and risk an incompletion or a turnover, clock stop, and then leave A&M with the timeout, or do you force them to call their timeout? If I'm Bill Clark, offensively, I'm forcing A&M to use that last timeout. I'm running the ball.
Right up the middle.
Get a punt out. Give A&M the ball back with 27 seconds left and no timeouts.
That's what they do. Brown is able to get out of the end zone. Takes a small loss in the play. A&M has to use that last timeout here.
It will be a 30-second
You predicted it.
Well, because what it does now is you're going to punt. A little bit of time will come off the clock. Now, A&M will get great field position, but without a timeout, if you really get 1, 2 completions short of a first down, clock will run out, and it's a long field goal attempt, even if you get a 2 or 3-yarder.
UAB has a freshman punter, Kyle Greenwell, out of Thompson Station, Tennessee. He's going to be backed up on the end line in the end zone for this kick.
And you'd imagine A&M will come after him for it. He's a freshman punter. The big thing for him, make sure you get to that back line. Give yourself some room to catch this snap, and it's a one-stepper and get it gone.
Rashad Paul back to return, standing at the 43 of UAB. Good kick. Spiral all the way to the 40 of Texas A&M. Paul finds some room, gets across midfield, on his feet, inside the 30, inside the 25, and down at the 22-yard line. A 57-yard punt by Greenwell. He did his job, but Rashad Paul with a great return of 39 yards.
It's almost like that out-kicked coverage. I mean, Paul catches that punt, and no one's within 25, 30 yards of him, so he's got plenty of grass. And if you're A&M right now, you got 11 seconds on the clock, no timeout. So for Kellen Mond, the big thing, we're going to take a shot at the end zone. That's the main thing. Take a shot at the end zone, and if you don't like it, Kellen Mond, two things. You cannot, under any circumstance, keep this ball in play, nor can you run around a bunch, because that clock will tick faster than you think. So it's either a touchdown or mandatory throwaway.
Three receivers to the right. Williams in the backfield. Clock moving to the end zone. Incomplete. Courtney Davis was the man Mond was looking for. D.A. Williams has done a pretty good job at corner tonight for the Blazers.
D.A. Williams fighting for this ball. This is a well-thrown ball, and Davis has got a chance to go make this catch. But D.A. Williams doing a really nice job of competing. That's the right call. Good job by Kellen Mond, making sure you get this field goal attempt.
Seth Small, who hit from 34 earlier, will attempt a 39-yarder on second down. No. And that's how the first half comes to an end. But Texas A&M gets a field goal attempt out of the deal.
It didn't sound good when it hit his foot. You know, almost like he clipped it off his toe.
Bit of a thud. But Jimbo's team has the lead 24-7 at the half. Coming up after the commercial timeout, Chris, Jim, and Emmanuel in the studio. Highlights from around the country in our halftime report. Football pretty good too. It's 24-7. Texas A&M trying to get win number 7 on the year. UAB 9-1 on the season. Such a feel-good story out of Conference USA. But they really hurt themselves in the first half hour. Nick Vogel has it on the tee for the Blazers. Drives it through the back of the end zone. Dan Orlovsky, Clay Matvick as we're underway here now in the second half. Paul Carcaterra down on the sideline. UAB, a very good opponent. They were not very good at times in that first half, and it should be a closer game.
Yeah, I mean, credit Texas A&M because they treated UAB respectfully.
Yes,
they came ready to play. And UAB, you know, besides the self-inflicted wounds, played a really good half of football. Without those 3 or 4 plays, you could make the case they'd be in the lead.
I'm sure Bill Clark is not happy with the 2 turnovers, the 2 missed field goals, the 5 penalties. Meanwhile, A&M starts with the football here in the second half. Has played a clean game, and that's a clean run by Kellen Mond into plus territory. A gain of 29 for the sophomore Texas A&M quarterback.
One of the reasons why he's number 2 in the SEC conference in total offense is because of his athleticism. It's your traditional zone read. And Mole for UAB, just bad discipline, bad eyes, follows the ball carrier, and Kellen Mond, no one accounts for him.
He's got 5 carries, 39 yards. He's their number 2 rusher behind this guy, Travion Williams, as we go down to Paul Carcaterra.
He's been outstanding. Those are the words Jimbo Fisher told me at the half in regards to Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond has been extremely accurate, according to Fisher, and he's going through his progressions. Defensively, he hasn't been thrilled, though, with the back end in regards to their D-backs. He feels like they're getting picked apart, and to help the D-backs, he said you got to ramp up this rush in regards to their defensive ends, getting some pressure on this young freshman quarterback, Tyler Johnson.
There's Sternberger, the tight end, for a first down reception. It's going to help Clark and Dan that the secondary is going to get Miles Jones back here in the second half. Remember, he had to sit out the first half because of a targeting call last week, so they get a starter back. We'll see if he plays in Oliver's spot, but there's no doubt UAB was picking on him in the first half.
Yeah, and Kirk's right and Coach is right. They got to get a little bit better pass rush. Tyler Johnston had a good amount of time back there more often than not in the first half, so we'll see what they do secondary-wise, if there's a switch or if Elko does some stuff to protect the corners.
Travion Williams, his 10th carry of the night. It'll garner 4 yards. Second down.
I want to talk about the Sternberger completion right there, because you know me, I love the little parts of football. And at home, it looks like a 6-yard out route. But the speed that he carries vertical to get the linebacker to open his hips, the linebacker doesn't know if it's a seam, and then he's able to shut it down and break away. He's just a really, really special route runner.
Couple of catches for Sternberger tonight, 40 yards. Williams goes out into the flat in motion. He's a pretty good receiving running back. They'll throw it to Trevor Wood, the other tight end in this offense. The grad transfer from Arizona. First down reception. And here's Texas A&M back in the red zone. First down and 10.
Nice little design. They motion Travion Williams out to really a receiver position. You know it's man as an offensive guy, and then Sternberger carries 2 guys vertical, and Wood just leaks to the flat uncovered.
This was a spread offense under Kevin Sumlin. Pro style under Jimbo Fisher. He had to go out and get tight ends and fullbacks to run it the way he sees fit. And they have even made linebackers fullbacks like Cullen Gillespie, who bangs ahead for an 8-yard pickup.
Okay, Gillespie. This is really one of A&M's favorite formations, is these 2 guys. But watch Travion Williams. Look at that block by the leading SEC rush guy, Travion Williams, and then give your fullback a little bit of love every now and then. He'll block a little bit better for you.
Did you think for 1 second that the senior Gillespie on senior night wasn't going to get a carry?
Well, that's why Jimbo Fisher, what a great coach. X's and O's. Also, a little massage of some of your important players.
He's probably the face of that senior class. And now they go back to their workhorse, Travion Williams. Williams, slow to get up. We'll get to his feet. Zachary Williams making the tackle. You know, Travion Williams is very hard to see behind a big offensive line. Williams just 5'9". And they've got 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" across that A&M front. And that's really, in large part, what makes Williams so effective. He's hard to pick up. And now they're going to take the clock down and call a timeout.
First charge timeout of the half.
You see that height comparison. We're going to step aside here. A&M in the red zone, knocking on the door, and a 3rd down play coming up here in College Station.
The helpful plays.
115 years after its humble beginnings, Kyle Field now the biggest stadium in the SEC, 102,000 capacity. Kind of a awkward timeout called there by Jimbo Fisher before the break.
Well, because he's thinking Cullen Gillespie is going to be in the game, so he's got his personnel and play called. Gillespie had to come out of the game, so now everything, your personnel, your plan completely changes.
This is what they draw up out of the timeout, and it's a touchdown for Cameron Buckley. No, they're going to say he was out of bounds. Buckley made the catch, but his feet stepped out of bounds. So it'll be 4th down.
I love the play call, trying to find Buckley in the back end zone. He might have gotten his right foot down there and caught that ball. It's bang, bang, really close because the left steps out. But it looked like his right, it was right almost simultaneous.
Say he was out. 25-yard field goal attempt now for Seth Small, and it is good. That makes it 27-7. Second field goal make for Small tonight as the Aggies add to their lead.
Well, it's a 3-score game right now, but it's really tied to the miscues out of UAB. Andre Wilson, opening kickoff, fumble. Recovered by A&M and a touchdown. 3rd and 1. And a high and hot snap to Johnston. Forces a longer field goal kick. Peavy's able to elevate and get the block and then the pick. Great play by Alaka. Lisa's Rosen is cut off. That pick leads to a touchdown. And that's really the difference, not only of where we stand right now, but the story of the first half.
Small with a 25-yard field goal moments ago as we check in again with Chris Cotter.
Let's check in on this game on ABC. Cincinnati, UCF, since he was up 6-0, but a couple of scores by the Knights, including this one to Adrian Killens. It's a 14-6 lead for the Knights on ABC.
Yeah, trying to extend that winning streak to 23 games. What a story. Mackenzie Milton and the Knights.
They got some help today, right? I mean, West Virginia losing. There's a way. I'm telling you, there's a way. Chaos in college football can happen, and there's a way.
I just have a hard time with their strength of schedule, considering them for the top 4. And we got a penalty flag. Delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Dano, you mentioned the miscues for UAB and how it really haunted them all first half. Bill Clark told me at halftime it's been the biggest difference because he feels confident in them moving the ball. He said Tyler Johnson has been able to move the ball. He's finding seams in this A&M defense from a passing standpoint. But every time they've moved the ball, the momentum stops with careless mistakes.
Yeah, that was their second delay of game, Clark. Their 6th penalty overall. They're going to make up for it a bit here with a nice reception from Andre Wilson, a gain of 14. They have hurt themselves tonight.
The outside receiver comes inside. They get Alaka to step up. Alaka and Dodson both go after that one-step slant, and that's what allows Andre Wilson to wrap right behind them.
First down and more. Across the 45, Spencer Brown. Brown now 13 carries. Donovan Wilson made that tackle. 41 yards on the night for Brown rushing.
A&M's done a good job so far of kind of hemming him up just a little bit. Obviously well behind his season average. I got a feeling UAB will get him going a little bit.
238 yards rushing is what this team averages. This is Johnston on the keeper. It's a good run on first down for the freshman quarterback. Spencer Brown last year against the Florida Gators was held to 17 rushing yards on just 8 carries. The Gators completely took him out of the UAB game plan. That was the last Power 5 team UAB faced. I feel like they've done a better job moving the football here tonight than they did against the Gators. But again, they have had so many mistakes. That's the reason they're down by 20 points. And now a man down for Texas A&M. It's Alaka, a senior out of Houston, one of your impact players.
Really good player. You know, talking about Spencer Brown, I had mentioned before that he's an All-American. I think the most impressive thing for me is it always seems like he's falling forward. He's one of those backs that instead of 1, he gets you 3. Instead of 5, he'll get you 6. And that's why his average is so high. This offensive line is very athletic. They get them moving sideline to sideline. So it's a really good marriage between both those units.
They toss it out there. And that will be a first down to Kendall Parham. Parham, who lined up in the backfield, the wide receiver. It's enough for the first down. They are creative in their offensive approach. Bryant Vincent who was the offensive coordinator in 14, came back in January after 3 years at South Alabama. 253 yards total offense now for UAB. Throwing here over the middle, incomplete, could have been picked off by Wilson, lands at his feet.
You know, Dan, when we watch Spencer Brown, who checked back into the game on tape, he gets better in the second half, and Vincent Bryan, their offensive coordinator, said it best. And when you watch him on tape, it's evident. He's so tough, opponents get tired of tackling him.
Well, the big thing is, can UAB stay patient with the run in this game right now? Being down 20, you got 23 minutes left in this game. Can you continue to stay patient and allow Brown to wear out this A&M defense a little bit?
And it's not like this team hasn't seen adversity. They epitomize adversity. And overcoming it. Johnston up and down. A couple of yards short of the first down. It'll be third down. I mean, this is a program that went dark for 2 years and was rebuilt by the head coach Bill Clark in the community in Birmingham. And in year one, after the rebirth, get a bowl game. Here in year two, they're the champs of Conference USA West. Could be outright league champs after next week. We'll see. Brown, first down and more. Still on his feet and finally bumped out near the 10-yard line. They're actually going to mark him out at the 16. Dodson escorting him out. That's a gain of 21 for Spencer Brown.
Watch the left tackle for UAB. He steps down. By rule, Landis Durham has to step down as well. That gives UAB the edge for that quick pitch to Brown. So good little coaching design there of forcing A&M's rules to open up that play for their offense.
Lisa in the slot to the right. They send Wilson in motion, rolling out as Johnston. He'll flip it out. What a catch. One-handed grab by Xavier Ubosi. And that's actually going to be a loss on the play, but what about the grab by the senior out of Reseda, California?
It's a hard catch now. He's running completely away from Tyler Johnston. Ball's behind him, and he's able to just one-hand mitt it. Yeah, it's a 2-yard loss. It's still a sick catch.
UAB has some really good receivers. It's just been hard at times for Johnston to find his guys downfield. He'll throw here, over the middle, incomplete, into traffic. Donnie Lee can't haul it in. Donovan Wilson, the captain of that Texas A&M secondary, with a good play defensively.
Tyler Johnston has him. Little horizontal fake, get the linebackers moving side to side and just a foot behind Donnie Lee. If that's out in front of him, that's not only catch, but it's a catch and score. He's able to split the A&M defender. So now third down. I gotta imagine Tyler Johnston looks for Colin Lisa again.
UAB 8 of 12 on third down. Hit, Johnston, ball loose. Recovered by UAB at the 30-yard line. Tyree Johnson coming off the edge, knocked it loose. Number 3 for Texas A&M. And UAB is able to recover the football, but this Texas A&M defense has been good tonight.
And Jimbo Fisher wanted what? The pass rush to get going. Johnson comes off the edge. It's a speed guy on a tackle. Beats him right on the outside with speed. Sack, fumble, forces a field goal.
Vogel, his third miss tonight. This one from 47. And the junior from Jacksonville is 0 for 3.
The big sack by Tyree Johnson forces the field goal attempt. Miss, A&M takes over.
Explain where some of the game's most creative audibles come from. That and more. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Well, Nick Vogel's had a tough night. 0 for 3 on field goal attempts as Corbin takes this handoff for Texas A&M, gets across the 35-yard line. The 3 drives for UAB, Dan, that have resulted in Vogel field goal attempts, they've had it for 36 plays, 153 yards, and possessed the football for over 15 minutes, but no points to show for it.
And that's obviously brutal to kind of take in. But listen, UAB, you have come in here and completely shown you belong. You have played a very good football team. Just some of the little things you haven't taken care of.
Good charge by Corbin to pick up the first down. I think Bill Clark would argue with you that they're actually big things, because he is such an attention to detail guy.
Sure.
You know, I think he's taken this personally tonight, just judging by what we've seen on the sideline.
In football, it's really the little things are the big things.
Yeah,
you know? And so he's going to look at the picture. They're going to watch tape, especially up until this point, and go, man, we played good ball. But there's going to be all the buts that are part of this game.
First down from the 41. Mond sets, throws, behind his receiver, incomplete.
When I spoke to Bill Clark during the half, he told me that defensively they've been pretty solid against the run, but Dano, when Kellen Mond sees UAB in too high, he thinks he's having a day on him.
He is, you know, and the thing is when you're in too high, there's one less guy in the box to pay attention to the quarterback and quarterback run.
Now this is bad news for Texas A&M. Jace Sternberger, their tight end, is down. Back in a sec. Sternberger took a shot, but he was able to walk off the field.
Well, Mole, the DB for UAB, seeing that out route come at him, and he takes, that's a cheap shot. He disregards that Corbin, the back one out there. He's thinking Sternberger's going to have that ball thrown to him. Rightfully so, they've hit it a couple times, but that ball's 5 feet over his head. He can see where Kellen Mond's letting it go. That's a cheap shot to me, Clay.
And Chris Mole, the sophomore nickel from Coral Gables. And now second down and a big hole on the near side for Jayshawn Corbin, the true freshman. Inside the 40-yard line of UAB and down at the 37, a run of 21 for Corbin, the main backup to Williams.
Clark talked about those two safeties, middle field open safeties, taking advantage of it. There's only 5 guys in the box in that tackle-to-tackle area for the A&M offensive line to take care of. And so the leverage, the angles that they were able to get to because of those 2 high safeties really spring Corbin for the big run.
Corbin, a Florida native, decided to follow Jimbo Fisher to College Station, originally committing to him at Florida State. And now this is Kwame Etwe, senior running back, getting his first touch here on senior night. Walk-on running back, gains 13. Now we'll see a lot of the reserves, most likely for Jimbo Fisher's squad.
Well, you're starting to see the strength of this football team, the run game, the offensive line, in a way, wear down UAB's defensive line.
th first down of the night for Texas A&M. They lead the SEC in first downs and time of the possession. They average over 36 minutes of possession per game. It's Etwe again, bouncing it to the outside. It's the 16th carry this year for Etwe. There's Jimbo.
Well, you know what's awesome about Jimbo Fisher? When we sat and talked with him yesterday, Coach, why have you not gone the way of college football? Spread, up-tempo, crazy pace. And he said he likes it this way because it's harder. It's harder on him to teach like this. He loves to teach, and the big thing is, I want my kids to be able to tell me why. So you're not going to see A&M get to line of scrimmage, look at coach, tell me what to do with the ball. They've always got to know why they've done something and be able to communicate to Jimbo, hey coach, I did it because of this, or I did it, I threw that ball because I saw this defender. His big thing is, I'm not going to give these kids a degree in something they can't use after this. And so he wants to prepare a lot of his kids to go play in the NFL. He believes this is the best way. And watching him on tape, I told you guys this, I could not find out their tendencies on offense. Usually I can find out a team's tendencies. Could not find it with Jimbo.
UAB calls a timeout. And there's Travion Williams. There's a guy that's likely going to play in the NFL one day. And our Paul Carcaterra caught up with him yesterday.
Coach Jimbo Fisher has been here less than a year. Describe what his impact on this program has been like.
It's been immediate impact from day one when he first stepped in here. You know, we knew this. We noticed his demeanor. We noticed the way that he came off. You know, he's a guy that loves football and he wants to win. He wants to win now. So it wasn't hard, and we knew his track record. So it didn't take any time for us to buy into him.
How is Coach Jimbo Fisher making Travion Williams a better running back?
He's making Travion a better guy mentally. You know, mentally, if you can go out there and play to your best abilities and not have a cap on yourself mentally, you'll be able to go out there and physically do whatever you want to.
How about that answer, though? It wasn't so much about making me a better player. It was about making me a better man. I thought that was interesting. Here's Mond to the end zone looking for Sternberger. Well, he wasn't out of the game long. A 25-yard touchdown catch for the big tight end from Oklahoma. 7th touchdown grab this year for Sternberger.
Man, Sternberger is a special talent.
34-7 now with 2:23 to go in the third.
You do not want to cover Jace Sternberger with the linebacker. He gets Woolbright covering him in man-to-man. Just watch how good of a release this is and how he kind of sets Woolbright up. Little seam inside, stack him. And I love the finish of the catch. That catch, first of all, beautiful ball by Kellen Mond. The seam inside, gain leverage on Woolbright. Watch the pluck at the end. Don't leave it out there for Woolbright to stick his hands and knock it away. Catch it and tug it in. It's a complete tight end route. Complete route. Seam, stack, touchdown, and Travion Williams. Happy that Jace Sternberger's on his team because he knows he's a big-time weapon.
Big-time weapon. Transfer from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Jimbo brought him in because they needed tight ends in this pro-style offense. And Jimbo is turning him into a pro prospect. Let's go back to the studio and Chris Cotter.
Kansas hanging with Oklahoma. Khalil Herbert's going to carry it in himself, bouncing it outside. Sooners still with the lead, but certainly not what they had designs on at home, 21-17 right now. Meanwhile, over on ABC, UCF, they were down 6-0 in this game, but Mackenzie Milton getting it going through the air here, fighting Trey Nixon. 21-6 right now, Knights.
The year of the Hawaiian quarterback continues.
Tua, Tamu, Mackenzie Milton, Tua's little brother. UCF can go play with anybody. I'm telling you, one game, they can play with anyone.
There's Johnston. And that is going to be a catch for Ubosi across the 30 down to the 33-yard line. Tamu put up some big numbers against this Texas A&M defense last week. They bent, didn't break. The run game for Ole Miss was never able to get traction against these Aggies last night.
And a big thing in that game was Kellen Mond's response, right? I mean, turnover, figures out a way to come back, resilient, and lead him to a big win.
It was a first down run for Lucius Stanley to back up to Spencer Brown. And that's something we talked to Jimbo Fisher about last week and this week. You know, Kellen Mond, a lot of the fans were calling for maybe a change to be made at quarterback. There were a lot of turnovers coming from Kellen Mond, especially in the back-to-back losses to Mississippi State and Auburn. But all in all, Jimbo has been very pleased with Kellen Mond. He loves his ability, loves his arm talent. We saw it on that touchdown pass.
The touchdown pass was remarkable. You're throwing that thing into a 6-inch by 6-inch box.
Johnston has time, but there's nothing downfield. Goes to the flat, and Andre Wilson. Wilson picks up the first down. He's to the 49 of Texas A&M. We might be seeing some of the Jimbo effect on Kellen Mond when you break down the numbers from 2017 to this year.
And that's it, exactly it. It's the Jimbo Fisher effect. And I believe a lot of it is because he's being taught now. You'll see Kellen Mond at the line of scrimmage changing protections, pointing out hots. When quarterbacks know what's happening and what my problems are, I can be so much more efficient and effective. We're seeing a lot of that out of Kellen Mond.
Play action down the middle of the field. Good coverage. It'll be second down.
Here's the deal, guys. We're in the state of Texas. Texas A&M is the only school in Texas that plays in the SEC. This place has always been able to churn out tons of quarterback talent. If you're a Texas high school player,
no doubt,
why wouldn't you come here as a quarterback to play for Jimbo Fisher? And if you look at the rest of the state in terms of developing a quarterback for the NFL, who's better equipped to do it?
He was hired for one reason, to win a national championship. They haven't won one here since '39. And Jimbo Fisher's got the ability to get in great recruits to this program. Spencer Brown dumped. It'll be third down and long.
Listen, we spent yesterday with their staff and Jimbo and facilities. All of college football should be on red alert for Jimbo Fisher, because with him now here with these resources and facilities, it's a lot like Nick Saban going to Alabama 11 years ago. Since they've joined the SEC, A&M's been about potential. Now that potential's married with a national championship caliber coach. He's already worked some wonders, and this place is a gold mine that they're laying the foundation to take off with.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Big lead going into the fourth for the Aggies on senior night. They're 3-1 when leading going into the fourth. Comfortable lead here tonight at College Station. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. During the break, son off the horns, another great Aggie tradition. Kyle Field, home of the 12th man. As we go to the fourth quarter, it's 34-7 UAB. The great stories of college football this year, 9-1 coming in. They've had a tough night. Johnston, their freshman quarterback, throws, and it is caught at their 30. Nice grab by Kalen Carter. As UAB goes back into plus territory after the gain of 26.
What a throw by Tyler Johnston. That has been the weakness, not only tonight pass game wise, but on tape, is that middle of the field. Beautiful throw.
There's Lucius Stanley on the run. Kiki making the tackle in the second down and 7. Let's go back and play to that throw.
Look when that ball comes out of his hands. Not even looking for it. Thrown over the top of a backer to Kalen Carter in front of the safety. Those throws are so difficult because of the trajectory the ball needs to be on. Tyler Johnston's had a couple of them tonight.
243 yards passing, a touchdown, an interception for Johnston tonight. His third straight start. Has time to throw here, and this one's intercepted. Picked off for the second time. Deshaun Capers-Smith missed the last couple of weeks with an injury. He's back healthy. And that is the third turnover tonight for UAB.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Tyler Johnston had hit a couple of these seams tonight. They were close shots, and Capers-Smith says no more. Carries the vertical well, eyes back to the quarterback. In a beautiful position to get that pick for A&M. That's learning through the game. They had gotten hit on it a couple times. Capers-Smith realizes it, learns through the game. It's great to have him back for this Texas A&M defense.
Again, a secondary that hasn't had a great season overall. A couple interceptions tonight. I think overall they played well.
Oh, no doubt. And Mike Elko's got to be really proud of their effort. They've certainly slowed down the run in the secondaries. Besides early on, has made some really good plays.
Ball comes out of Etley's hands. Loose football at the 10-yard line, and UAB's got it. Broderick Thomas with the fumble recovery. Kwame Etley returning it right back
Throwing on the field
to UAB.
is a fumble by the offense, recovered by the defense prior to going out of bounds. First down, UAB.
Was the recovery made inbounds? Let's take another look.
And the ball is definitely out. But is Thomas able to secure it? Secure possession before going out of bounds? Looks like it. What a great job by Thomas of almost fetal position, falling on top of that ball, securing it before his body slides out of bounds.
Zachary Williams, the defensive tackle, forced it out. And the play is going to stand. So now this crowd getting behind the Aggies defense. UAB takes over at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of a couple. Second down as we go to Chris. Clemson, one of the losses for Texas A&M this year, came in week 2.
Played him great.
Yeah, they did. Kellen Mond was terrific in that football game. They nearly beat the Tigers. Kept by Johnston. Boy, that was a great fake. I think a lot of that defensive front for Texas A&M thought that Spencer Brown had it. Tyrell Dodson wasn't fooled. He made the tackle. So it's third down at about 6 here for UAB. They have really struggled in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned 1 for 3. You know, for them, it's finding a way to get early on, right? They found a way to get Andre Wilson in a man-to-man situation, and he ran a beautiful route. I got to imagine that Vincent Bryan, the offensive coordinator, is figuring out a way to get Andre Wilson as number 1 in the read.
The Cora Cadets pouring into the ears of the redshirt freshman. Jet sweep, but now the play is whistled dead.
Prior to the snap.
We got a timeout.
Second charge timeout.
12:15 to go. UAB needs to talk. Sports Center tonight after Arizona, Washington State with Zubin and John. They're going to break down today's college football rankings, or at least how they're going to be affected on Tuesday. Plus LeBron's reaction to the Lakers' recent surge, and an inside look at the Warriors' offense without Steph Curry. Sports Center after college football on ESPN and the ESPN app. Okay, so out of the UAB timeout, they have it third down and 6. In trouble, Johnston dumped at the 11. Landis Durham with his second sack tonight. Fourth down.
They're trying to get a little angle route out of the backfield, and A&M does a great job of just playing zone defense, not falling for some of their crossing routes. And Bill Clark going for this, I get it. You don't need, a field goal does nothing for you here. Figure out a way to try and score a touchdown.
They can pick up a first down at the 1.
Look for a Ubosi one-on-one, bottom of the screen.
To the end zone, man open, caught, touchdown. Andre Wilson, his second touchdown grab tonight. And UAB finally able to close out a drive. The first touchdown since the opening drive here tonight.
Well, they motioned Wilson from the left to the right, and they get him with a favorable matchup. Now it's zone defense. It's man defense. And he beats Donovan Wilson to the corner route, but it really was set up from the motion. He gains leverage on the outside shoulder of Wilson.
And touchdown. Another block. Scooped up, Miles Jones. As UAB has left a lot of points on the field tonight, missing field goals and extra points now. Jaden Peavy got the block. It's 34-13. Tonight, Texas A&M is dedicating a chair of honor here at Kyle Field. The chair will remain vacant to honor all of the fighting men and women who've never made it home. There has always been a great respect for the military here at Texas A&M, which began as a military school in 1876. And tonight on Military Appreciation Night, they officially dedicated the POW MIA Chair of Honor as a solemn tribute to those who've made the ultimate sacrifice. The chair is located right behind the Texas A&M bench here at Kyle Field. Great gesture. After the UAB touchdown, Jayshon Corbin, big return. Tripped up coming across the 40-yard line. Tuesday on ESPN, we're going to have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings at 7 Eastern. Reese and the guys will break it down for us. Of course, you can watch it live on the app. Now we take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings brought to us by Goodyear. I don't think there's going to be any change in the top 4. You see Clemson handling Duke now 28-6.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia's going to be out. LSU will be tested against this Texas A&M team next week.
Travion Williams having a nice night down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 20. He's got 76 yards rushing now on 12 carries.
Running behind the right side of Sutherland and Green. Good lead blocks, great vision by Travion Williams. Nice cut. And his run game's been really impressive in this second half.
A couple of touchdowns tonight for Williams. We haven't seen a lot of the toss sweep from him tonight. That's his favorite play.
Yeah.
That's because this stuff near the tackles has been working just fine. There's another first down. Let's go to your national storylines in college football. We were talking about Les Miles earlier and going to Kansas. Here are the other storylines to touch on. Notre Dame just pounding Syracuse. Do they deserve to be higher than 3?
Their strength of schedule, their body of work is better than anybody's right now. And so you can make the case their defense was so impressive today. Michigan got tested against Indiana, right? Ohio State, man. Ohio State does not look like a good football team.
Yeah, they do not look like a team that deserves the college football playoff, even though they've got 1 loss. Back with more here in College Station. 10 minutes to go. 34-13, Texas A&M leading here in the 4th quarter. We're at Kyle Field. Dan Orlovsky, Paul Carcaterra, yours truly, Clay Matvick. As UAB came in here with an 8-game winning streak, we've run into a lot of challenges here tonight on the road. Jimbo Fisher's team minutes away from picking up win number 7 and securing A&M's winning season. And a good vibe going into the LSU game as the Tigers will come in here next week. Travion Williams stood up at the 20 as we go to Chris Cotting.
All right, guys, Kennedy Brooks is having himself a heck of a day for Oklahoma. 142 yards now and 2 touchdowns as he keeps his feet. Got big old number 74 there in front of him, clearing the way. 35-17. Oklahoma on top of Kansas, although Kansas is driving here. Texas just starting the 3rd quarter, up 14 on Iowa State.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Here's Kellen Mond. He's got a touchdown pass tonight. Make it 2. What a catch for Sternberger, his 2nd touchdown grab. And that was just snared out of midair.
Watch Sternberger's release here and how he keeps leverage on the safety. Outside released, get to the safety's shoulder, don't stem inside and lose leverage, and that's an NFL throw and an NFL catch. Mond to Sternberger.
17 touchdown passes now for Mond on the year. Those last 2 throws to Sternberger for touchdowns, very impressive for their sophomore quarterback. And it's 41-13. What were you saying about Sternberger's feet and being a dancer? You said something earlier, and I think
he's got great feet when it comes to route running and how to seam and whatnot. It goes back. He's got like a ballroom dancing background.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, he has been great tonight.
He's probably learned a little bit of a two-step down here.
Maybe. Well, he's an Oklahoma native. I would think that's in his DNA anyhow. He's got 4 catches, 85 yards, and a couple of touchdowns now as A&M has spread this one out. Well, what a game we have coming your way on Monday Night Football. Pat Mahomes and the 9-1 Chiefs taking on Todd Gurley. 9-1 Rams. Maybe a Super Bowl preview. Who knows? 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, also simulcast in Spanish.
Well, you know, it's not only a potential Super Bowl preview, but it's a preview of the next decade of quarterbacking in the NFL. And these two guys, with Patrick Mahomes and Goff, the numbers that they can put up will be the face of the NFL and big-time quarterback play for a long time. And we get to see them go against each other on Monday night.
Johnston runs ahead, and he'll pick up 5. There are so many weapons on both teams that Mahomes and Goff can utilize. And you look at the Chiefs' offensive stars. They're getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers.
Well, could you imagine being Andy Reid and going, okay, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, okay, Kelsey, also known as Jay Sternberger, that I like to reference him, and then Sammy Watkins and Conley. I mean, he's got 5 weapons that you can just concoct these offensive game plans around to find matchups. And if you don't have people on defense that go 5, 6 deep, Andy Reid's going to find it and then utilize all those weapons to attack you.
Toss to Spencer Brown, a couple of yards short of the first down, and the LA Rams have the cornucopia of stars as well. Goff can get the ball too.
They're built the same way, right? I mean, Gurley, Cooks, Robert Woods, Gerald Everett, who was a young draft pick last year, Tyler Higbee, both those tight ends. And so you're looking at teams and going, now Sean McVay has guys that are 5 deep that he can go and, okay, who do I want to get the ball to? And that's why these two offenses are so fun and good right now, is the weapons that they have and the coaches know how to use them.
You know, Dan, earlier we were talking about Jared Goff, who is a former teammate of yours, and if the NFL season ended today, Patrick Mahomes would be the MVP most likely. What is it that he does better than any quarterback in the NFL right now?
Well, Mahomes is a physically talented kid. There's no doubt about it. But I love the fact that he's playing quarterback. So he's at the line of scrimmage, understanding, okay, how can I use my eyes, move a safety, move a linebacker. He's not forcing the ball into coverages. You know, big thing is he got to sit behind a guy like Alex Smith, the quarterback from Utah, #1 draft pick, longtime NFL veteran. Learn from Alex Smith, and then he trusts Andy Reid. Andy Reid puts him in great positions. But my favorite thing about him, he's got no memory. Great quarterbacks don't have any memory. Whether it's good stuff or bad stuff, they're just in the moment. And I would go back to that first half against New England, which was great with Patrick Mahomes. And Jared Goff's the same way. Jared Goff, I mentioned the Bay Area. Jared Goff is a unique kid that he can go 3, 4 plays in a row and not look great. And then all of a sudden he just gets hot. So often quarterbacks get hung on, you know, some of the failures or the struggles.
Right.
Goff doesn't. And it's remarkable that they are able to master that at such a young age.
Jared Goff was the first overall pick in 2016. 10th overall pick in 2017 was Patrick Mahomes. They've hit the ground running, basically, early on in their careers.
But it's tied to great coaches and weapons to get the ball to.
Mahomes putting up a lot of points and a lot of yards at Texas Tech. Jared Goff had a terrific career at Cal. That's going to be close to a first down here for UAB.
You know, the game reminds me of, and I'm not saying these guys are at this moment, but remember the Tom Brady and the Peyton Manning just battles that those guys would have, that you knew you were in for a show. That quarterback play was going to be well executed. Some throws that you go, how do these guys do it? That's what we're going to see Monday night between these two offenses and two quarterbacks.
Johnston straight ahead. He's got a first down run. It's going to be a celebration of the NFL on Monday night when you look at maybe one of the best games of the year. And Andy Reid, Sean McVay, two of the great coaches in the league, one with a ton of experience, and Sean McVay, whose career is just getting started as a head coach.
Yeah, you know, I was fortunate to be with Sean McVay. I was in camp in the summer of 2017 and just blown away by how intelligent and much of a grasp of teamwork that Sean McVay had.
Colin Lisa steps out of bounds at the 26. 20 seasons for Andy Reid. 2 seasons now for McVay. He's not even through his second.
There's a great age difference and obviously a 10-year difference, but I'm telling you, these guys are rooted in the same kind of belief. I want everything to look the same on offense. I'm going to do a ton of stuff out of it. You're not going to have any clue. It's like, I tell people it's like Greg Maddux back in the day for the Braves, the pitcher. Nothing was overpowering, but everything looked the same and it kept you off balance. That's what both those coaches do at such a high rate.
Man down for the Aggies. And I have to look at him. Trying to get an idea on who this is. That's Tyree Johnson, the defensive end. What a sack earlier in this game. And they continue to look at the redshirt freshman from Washington, D.C. They're going to need him next week as LSU comes into College Station. And LSU has had a good run against the Aggies in recent years. Texas A&M will be looking to get their 8th win of the year next week and maybe finish as high as 2nd in the SEC West. That's what will be on the line when the Tigers come to town. Full positioning, of course, it's one of many big games next week.
That is going to be an awesome, awesome game. LSU, you can make the case as two of the better defensive football players in college football this year in White and Delpit. And so that'll be an awesome, awesome game here. And I'm telling you, this Texas A&M team's got 4 losses. This is not a 4-loss football team. This is a really, really good team.
This is going to be a touchdown for Spencer Brown. 15th rushing touchdown of the year. The freshman All-American a year ago. It hasn't been the night he had hoped for, but he does get another touchdown on the board for UAB. Spencer Brown has just moved into 5th place all-time in rushing at UAB. 10-play, 90-yard touchdown drive.
Just your inside zone for Spencer Brown. Andrew Smith does an awesome job of coming off his double team and picking up that backer. And UAB is going to have a lot to be proud about when they watch film on this game. The way they played, some of the execution that they had. They're going to look back and realize some of the self-inflicted wounds hurt them, no doubt. But I've said it once, I'll say it again. They've come into this place and shown themselves to be a very capable football team.
Right. You know, and they knew that there wasn't nearly as much at stake here tonight. Really nothing at stake tonight, as much as there's going to be at stake next week when they play Middle Tennessee for home field advantage in the Conference USA title game. Let's take a look at our Players Spotlight, brought to us by T. Rowe Price. And Mond, Williams, and Sternberger have had big nights for Texas A&M.
I mean, Texas is known for triplets on offense with the Cowboys, Aikman, Irvin, Emmitt Smith. Texas A&M's got their own version. Kellen Mond was very impressive tonight. Travion Williams impressed. ran hard, great vision, but Jay Sternberger, for me, he's a game changer for this offense. He's a big-time difference maker and a matchup nightmare.
A couple of touchdown catches for Sternberger. Williams, he's not done yet. Big run. Pushed out at the 28-yard line by Starling Thomas. And it's a run of 47 yards for Travion.
Double pullers. He follows his tight end Wood. A nice block by Sternberger on the perimeter. Travion Williams shows some long speed here on this run. Man, A&M really likes to pull tackles, tight ends. Big part of their offense.
Over 100 yards for the 12th time in his career. They give it to Williams again. Garcia Williams spinning him down to the turf, making the tackle.
You know, Travion Williams, you know, it's easy to get caught up in a back's size. And he's only 5'9", but he runs hard, he runs strong, and the thing is, he uses his size to an advantage. Patience in the hole, and then he's quick enough, strong, and explosive enough to get through the hole before defenders get to him.
The fifth Aggie with 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons in his career. Looking for more here. Stiff arm, gets to the 21-yard line and pushed out with 3 and change to go.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Clay. If I'm Jimbo Fisher right now, I know what I have coming up next week with LSU. Travion Williams has got his 100-yard game.
Yeah.
I might call you over to the sideline, big fella, and let you get some rest and get you home safe.
Let's not tempt fate, huh? You know, Jimbo nearly took his first head coaching job at UAB in 2007. But UAB ended up hiring Neil Calloway instead, and Jimbo went to Florida State, and of course, became their head coach 3 years later, won a national title, and the rest is history, as they say. Williams down to the 15. You know, Clark talked with Travion yesterday about his running style. Here's that conversation.
Why'd you gravitate to the running back position?
You know, the running back position is easy to gravitate to. You know, whenever you go out there and you see the running back, you know, that's always a guy with the ball in his hand, making the highlight plays and just having fun out there. So, you know, it wasn't hard for me to want to do that.
Leading the SEC in rushing yards and all-purpose, I might add.
Thank you.
Your 3 strongest characteristics as a running back are?
Endurance, competitiveness, and agility. You know, I base my game on all those 3, you know, pillars, and, you know, I go out there and play to the best of my ability every opportunity I get. You know, I feel like I'm quick and I'm agile. You know, I'm very competitive and I love what I do, and it shows when I play.
Number 81.
A good conversation between Clark and Travion, who was tackled there at the 20-yard line. A penalty flag came out. Waiting to hear from John McDade what this is about. Against Texas A&M, we know that much.
And this is why I love Travion Williams, is the versatility. And that's going to carry him to have a really good shot in the NFL. We've seen him line up in the backfield and take the ball. Then we've seen him line in the backfield and be a lead blocker. We've seen him be flexed out as a pass catcher. And that's where we are in the NFL, is these backs, these Alvin Kamara type guys that can be used in versatile ways and matchup ways, they become weapons. And I really believe Travion Williams is going to be one of those guys in his future.
He's still in the game, still doing the tough work. First down at 20. Now the run game, we talked about it before. The last time that Texas A&M finished above 6th in the SEC in rushing, Johnny Manziel was still running around.
Yeah.
That was 2012. And this run game in this pro-style offense of Jimbo Fisher has some teeth to it. No question about it.
And Jimbo's established the physicality he wants to play with, the toughness he wants to play with, and they're reaping the benefits of it in their run game.
Kellen Mond might have a 200-yard passing game before it's all said and done, but goes back to Williams, cuts it back into the middle of the field, and he's chopped down at the 16-yard line. UAB no timeouts, can't stop the clock.
Really good lead block by Sutherland, and just the vision. Travion Williams is the total package. The vision to cut back on that run. Really, really well done.
Mond tackled. Texas A&M has had a tough schedule this year. UAB was their 7th opponent, ranked in the top 25, and they're going to get another one next week in LSU. Jimbo Fisher's Aggies get their 7th win. UAB, the 8-game winning streak is over, but still a great story in college football.
Yeah, they showed well tonight, but credit A&M. This is a good football team. They've got a very bright future under Jimbo Fisher.
41-20, the final next on ESPN2. We're going to send you to Provo, Utah, New Mexico State, and BYU. So long from College Station.